Hey everyone, you guys know that I have a particular interest in simple productivity improvements for the Mac, to the point that I even made my own app to help with that. But in this video I wanted to cover some less known shortcuts and features of macOS itself that have indeed improved my productivity, but for some reason they're getting less attention than they deserve. They're just things built right into macOS that we all have access to that are pretty useful, but for some reason Apple doesn't really document them very well. I will also show you a few keyboard shortcuts that are maybe not gonna transform your productivity, but are just fun to know. Let's get started with something easy that some of you probably already know, but I wanted to cover it because a lot of people I met have never really fully explored this feature, and that is taking screenshots. Most people know the basic keyboard shortcut Command-Shift-3 that will grab your entire screen. But surprisingly, the default screenshot tool in macOS has quite a bit of depth. So let's first talk about the other keyboard shortcuts that you have access to. If you press Command-Shift-4, it will allow you to select the area of the screen that you want to take a screenshot of. However, did you know that while you're in that mode, you can also press space, which then allows you to select a window without having to precisely draw a border around it. And to access the entire menu, you can press Command-Shift-5, which opens this toolbar at the bottom of the screen where you can not only capture the screen, but you can also record. And then if you click on options, most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but the one I use a lot is to change the default location of my screenshots and recordings. For example, when I'm recording a tutorial or just working on a video like this one, and I have a whole bunch of recordings to make, I first select the folder where they are all going to be saved, and then I just record one after another, and it saves me a lot of time. Okay. Now I want to show you what is probably my favorite keyboard shortcut on the Mac, and I feel like I should have known this from day one. So if you open Finder and you quickly want to navigate to a specific location, you can press Command-Shift-G and it opens this incredibly useful dialog where you can start typing the path to your folder. But even if you've never visited a folder before, it basically has tab autocompletion, so you really only have to type the first one or two letters of the folder name and hit tab. But you can also use the arrow keys to navigate, and it's just so super fast. But wait, there's more. You can also access the same navigation dialog by pressing / when you're, for example, saving a file. I'm not really sure why that's a completely different keyboard shortcut, but I'm just really happy that I discovered it and it's at least there. This also works when you're opening a file, and apart from pressing the / button, you can also press the tilde key, which will bring you to your home directory. This might sound a little bit strange to non-technical people, but it actually makes a lot of intuitive sense because it's the same way that you can navigate to your home directory in your terminal. I will cover a few more Finder keyboard shortcuts later in the video. I want to zero in on this one key, the Option key. There are so many different functions that this one key does that I can't cover all of them, but I will share with you my favorite ones. First of all, in most system menus, you can hold Option while hovering with your mouse over a button, and you will typically get more options. For example, if you simply click on the speaker icon to change your audio settings, you get this, but if you click on it while holding Option, you can also change your input source right there. In the same way, if you click on the Bluetooth settings, you get some basic information, but if you click on it while holding Option, you get a lot more information about all of your devices. And while you're in the Apple menu at the top of the screen, just by pressing the Option key, you get different options. For example, right here, you can access the system information, which can be useful, and honestly, I had to Google this one a couple times. But going back to Finder, if you right click on a file and then in that menu you press the Option key, you also get to do different things. For example, you can copy the path of the file instead of the file itself, which I found to be somewhat useful when debugging certain scripts and stuff like that. And there are many more interesting things you can do with the Option key, so it's just worth trying out. Anytime you're looking for more information, try holding Option. But the last one I'm going to show you is very interesting, and that is to symmetrically resize a window on your screen. So let's say that you're like me and you have a little bit of OCD and you have a very nicely centered window like I have here. Just by holding Option and dragging one of the edges, you can resize it while it remains centered. It's just a beautiful quirk of macOS that I found very interesting and pleasing. And speaking of quirks, there's just one fun shortcut I discovered while trying to do something else, which is if you hold Command Option and then press D, you can actually toggle the dock in macOS. I really don't know why it's there, because once you open it, there is really nothing else you can do with the keyboard and you have to use your mouse, but I guess it's kind of fun to know. And in the meantime, a quick sponsored segment helps me pay the bills on this channel, so today, a quick word from AIFlow. AIFlow is a unique app that acts as a catch-all inbox for things like tasks and emails. It connects with pretty much any productivity app and pulls in all your tasks in one place so that you can organize them on the calendar view. Here on my calendar view, I have all of my tasks blocked out so that I can make sure I get the right things done at the right time, and that no one on my team is blocked waiting for me. AIFlow has a two-way sync engine which ensures that when you check things off from here, the change is reflected in the app where the task originated from. You can also treat emails themselves as to-do items, which I often use to directly add bug reports that come into my inbox from my users. It's really easy. AIFlow's AI assistant is good at taking simple requests like, if there are tasks in my inbox for more than 2 days, suggest a good time to schedule them. AIFlow helps you truly understand just how much capacity you have in a given week, even if you use many apps for different purposes. You can give AIFlow a try for free, so check out the link in the description to create your account on the website, and once you have your account, you can use the iPhone app as well, and it really works on all your devices. Right, and talking about Windows and apps, here's a quick keyword shortcut that is very useful to know. I'm sure most people know that by pressing Ctrl and the up arrow, you can zoom out and see all the windows that are in your current space. But not many people know that by pressing Ctrl and down arrow, you can see all the windows of your current app across all spaces. And what's really cool about this view is that you can go through those windows using your arrow keys, and I've done that more than once. I am the kind of guy who has many windows of the same app open, for example Safari or Cursor, VS Code for multiple projects, and this was my go-to keyboard shortcut to switch between them. However, you can always do a little better. And one of the things that I missed from my days of using Windows and Linux was to switch between windows of all apps using one unified interface, regardless of what space they are on. And this is why in my app called One Menu, I have a feature that does exactly that. The shortcut is fully customizable, but by default, pressing Option Tab gives you a list of all windows, and for most apps, you can even navigate directly to a specific tab. Plus, you can even search for windows and tabs within the same interface. I've been working on this one for a long time, so I put a link in the description if you want to check it out. It has over 10,000 daily active users, and I'm kind of proud of it. Alright, but let's go back to Finder, and I want to show you a few more useful shortcuts that I found along the way. One of the things that I had to Google when I first got to Mac is how to go back to the parent folder, and it turns out you can easily do that by pressing Command and up arrow. And conversely, you can navigate into a folder by pressing Command down arrow, which is slightly unintuitive for people coming from Windows or Linux because pressing Enter actually renames a file or folder on macOS. Kinda strange. It's very hard for me to wrap my head around the thought process of designing the keyboard shortcuts for the Finder. It's just different for no reason at all, but I didn't expect anything else from Apple, to be honest at this point. In any case, I want to go back to my app just for a moment. And I understand it's a little bit of self-promotion, but everything I'm going to show you, you can use entirely for free. Lately, I've been working on a major rewrite to support Glass UI, but I got carried away with it and almost rewrote the whole thing. And here I want to cover some free features that you're not even going to find on the landing page, but nevertheless, I spent some time thinking about them and building them for the power users to enjoy. First, One Menu is a window manager, and you can pretty much customize all the different window areas that you can snap windows to, but most people don't know that you can enter fractions to specify the positions and sizes of your window. And this is very useful if you want to have your windows, let's say, occupy exactly 1/3 of your screen or 1/5 of the screen. You don't have to bother with decimal points. Secondly, there is a special hidden window manager mode when holding down the command button. So if you have a window like I have here, you can place another one in the remaining available space by dragging and holding command. Now, when it comes to the clipboard history feature, it's amazing that macOS now finally comes with it out of the box, but I kind of miss one particular feature. What I most frequently do is paste something as plain text. And it's been a free feature of my app from day one. But I wanted to show you a less known power user feature that I personally use every single day. So for each clipboard item, you have options that you can navigate to, right? But you can also trigger any option directly by only pressing the key that is assigned to that particular action. Let me show you. While I'm here, without expanding the item's actions, I can press P and it will paste immediately as plain text. I honestly use this all the time. And I just wanted to show you these two features because they are totally free, but when I talk to my users, most people don't even know about them. And yet they are my favorite features that I ever made. But alright, let me show you a couple more keyboard shortcuts on macOS that have nothing to do with my app. Did you know that you can adjust both the brightness and the volume in much smaller increments using the keyboard? You can do this by pressing Option Shift and then the corresponding key on your keyboard, and the volume and brightness will increase or decrease by 1/4 of a step. I don't use this one very often, but it kind of falls in that category of things that are fun to know that you can kind of share with your friends as a curiosity. Oh, and I just remembered about this one, and I'm too lazy to rewrite this entire script to find a better place for it, but about Finder, I recently discovered that you can quickly switch between different views, like the grid, the list, and the columns, and the gallery view by pressing Command 1, 2, 3, and 4. I honestly use this just to immediately go into the list view in any folder, but maybe if you use the other views, it could be useful to know. And finally, here is a real power user feature that I don't really use all that often, but when I do, it's very satisfying. By pressing Command Option Shift Escape, you can instantly close your frontmost application without any confirmations and no questions asked. It's very satisfying, but it's kind of a lot of keys to press at the same time, so it's not very convenient, but I guess it could be useful. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out on YouTube. Check out the links in the description, and I will see you in the next one.